Every great success story begins with one simple choice: the decision to keep going, no matter how tough the journey. Consistency is not just about repetition, it's about proving to yourself every single day that you are capable of more. While others stop at excuses, the truly unstoppable rise above, turning failures into fuel for their dreams. Remember, success is not about luck, it's about the courage to persist. Today is your chance to break through the barriers holding you back. Are you ready to rise above and claim the life you deserve? Welcome to Rise Above Talk, where we ignite your potential and inspire you to conquer every challenge. Consistency is the foundation of all success. It may seem like a small and simple concept, but its power lies in its ability to compound results over time. Often, people underestimate the significance of small, repeated actions because the effects aren't immediately visible. However, just like water wears down a rock over time, consistent effort leads to significant transformation. Success is not about grand gestures or short bursts of intense activity. It's about showing up every day and doing the work, even when it feels mundane or unproductive. When I started Alibaba, I didn't have extraordinary resources or a detailed roadmap. What I had was a belief in the power of small, consistent steps. I knew that the road to success wasn't a sprint but a marathon, and the only way to win was to keep running, one step at a time. Many people give up too soon because they focus on the end goal rather than the process. They want instant results and quick gratification, but success rarely works that way. It's the daily grind, the repeated effort, and the unwavering focus on improvement that eventually pay off. Consistency also builds habits, and habits shape your life. When you force yourself to be consistent, even in small things, you create a routine that reinforces discipline. For example, if you dedicate just 30 minutes a day to learning a new skill, you may not notice a difference after a week or even a month. But after a year, those 30-minute sessions will compound into a significant improvement, making you better than 99% of people who never started. This principle applies to everything: fitness, education, relationships, and even business. It's not about how much you do at once, but about how often you do it. One of the biggest challenges to consistency is the lack of immediate feedback. Human beings are wired to seek rewards, and when we don't see results right away, we lose motivation. But this is where true grit comes in. You have to trust the process, even when the rewards are invisible. The farmer doesn't plant seeds and expect a harvest the next day. He tends to the soil, waters the plants, and waits patiently because he knows the fruits of his labor will come in time. The same is true for any endeavor in life. In my own journey, I've seen countless examples of people who started with nothing but a dream and consistent effort. They weren't the smartest or the most talented, but they showed up every day, ready to give their best. Over time, their efforts paid off, and they achieved what once seemed impossible. Success is not reserved for the lucky or the privileged. It belongs to those who are consistent, no matter the obstacles they face. The key is to start small, stay committed, and trust the process. Once you embrace the power of consistency, you'll discover that nothing is truly out of reach. The small steps you take today will lead to the big successes of tomorrow. Excuses are the biggest barriers to success, yet they are also the easiest to make. They are a way for the mind to justify inaction, convincing you that you're not ready or that the circumstances aren't right. Everyone has faced moments where excuses feel valid, being too tired, too busy, or even too inexperienced. However, the truth is, excuses only serve one purpose: to delay your progress. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, you must learn to overcome them. When I was young, I failed my university entrance exams twice. It was embarrassing, and I could have easily made excuses to give up. I could have told myself that I wasn't smart enough or that the system was unfair. But I knew deep down that giving in to those thoughts would only guarantee one thing: failure. Instead, I decided to work harder and try again. Failure was not an excuse to stop, it was a reason to push forward. This mindset shaped my journey and allowed me to overcome the many rejections and challenges I faced later in life. Excuses often stem from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success can create mental roadblocks that seem impossible to overcome. But here's the reality: fear is temporary, and regret lasts forever. It's better to try and fail than to live with the what-ifs. Every time you choose action over excuses, you grow stronger and more resilient. Even if you don't succeed right away, the lessons you learn will prepare you for the next challenge. Another reason people make excuses is the belief that circumstances need to be perfect before they can start. But perfection is a myth. There will never be an ideal time to chase your dreams or take that first step. Whether it's starting a business, learning a new skill, or pursuing a goal, waiting for the right moment only delays progress. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for perfect conditions. They worked with what they had and created opportunities out of nothing. One way to overcome excuses is to reframe your mindset. Instead of focusing on reasons why you can't do something, focus on what you can do. Break your goals into small, actionable steps and take the first one, no matter how small it seems. Once you start, momentum will carry you forward. Another strategy is to hold yourself accountable. Share your goals with someone you trust and ask them to check in on your progress. Knowing that someone else is watching can motivate you to stay consistent. Finally, remember that excuses are a choice. Every time you make one, you're choosing to stay in the same place rather than move forward. Success requires sacrifice, effort, and most importantly, responsibility. Take ownership of your actions and decisions. When you eliminate excuses, you open the door to possibilities. The road to success is never easy, but it's also never impossible. By refusing to make excuses, you can face any challenge head-on and create the life you've always dreamed of. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It is the foundation upon which all success is built. While motivation might get you started, it is discipline that keeps you moving forward when the excitement fades. Many people dream big but fail to achieve their dreams because they lack the discipline to take consistent action. Discipline is not something you are born with, it's a skill you can develop, and it starts with small daily commitments. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is that discipline is about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. When I started Alibaba, there were countless days when the challenges felt overwhelming and giving up seemed easier. But I reminded myself that success doesn't come from convenience, it comes from commitment. Discipline means showing up every day, no matter how you feel, and doing the work that brings you closer to your goals. A common misconception about discipline is that it restricts freedom, but in reality, it creates freedom. Discipline allows you to take control of your time, energy, and choices. It helps you build habits that make progress automatic. For example, if you discipline yourself to wake up early and spend an hour learning or working on your passion, you gain more time to grow and achieve. Without discipline, you become a slave to distractions and impulses, which often leads to regret and missed opportunities. Building discipline starts with clarity. You need to define your goals and understand why they matter to you. A strong why gives you the motivation to stay disciplined when things get tough. Next, break your goals into small, actionable steps. Discipline doesn't mean taking huge leaps every day. It means taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. Celebrate those small victories. They reinforce your commitment and build momentum. Another key to discipline is learning to resist short-term temptations in favor of long-term rewards. This is easier said than done because we live in a world filled with distractions. Social media, entertainment, and endless options for instant gratification can pull you away from your goals. To stay disciplined, you must learn to prioritize what truly matters. Create an environment that supports your focus by removing distractions and setting boundaries. Accountability is also a powerful tool for building discipline. Share your goals with someone you trust, whether it's a friend, mentor, or family member, and ask them to hold you accountable. Knowing that someone else is watching can push you to stay on track. Similarly, track your own progress. Keeping a journal or checklist allows you to see how far you've come, which can be incredibly motivating. Finally, discipline is a muscle that grows stronger with practice. Start small and gradually increase your efforts. If you try to change everything at once, you'll quickly burn out. Instead, focus on 1 or 2 habits at a time and build from there. Over time, your discipline will become a natural part of who you are. Discipline is not always easy, but it is always worth it. It gives you the strength to overcome obstacles, the focus to stay on course, and the resilience to keep going when others give up. With discipline, there is no limit to what you can achieve. In a fast-changing world, the ability to adapt and improve consistently is one of the most critical skills for success. No matter how strong your foundation is, staying stagnant is not an option. The world is constantly evolving, and those who fail to grow and adjust risk falling behind. Consistency doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over. It means staying committed to your goals while continuously learning, innovating, and improving along the way. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that improvement is a lifelong journey. When I started Alibaba, I knew very little about technology or running a business, but I was willing to learn. I read books, sought advice, and surrounded myself with people who were smarter than me. Each day, I tried to improve just a little bit. Over time, those small improvements added up, and they helped Alibaba grow from a tiny startup to a global powerhouse. Adaptability goes hand in hand with improvement. In business and in life, you will face unexpected challenges and changes. Sometimes your original plan won't work and you'll need to pivot. This is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of strength. Successful people don't cling to old methods or ideas. They adjust to new realities and find better ways forward. The key is to remain flexible while staying focused on your ultimate goal. Continuous improvement requires humility. You have to be honest with yourself about your weaknesses and areas for growth. Too often, people become complacent because they believe they've made it. But the moment you stop improving is the moment you start falling behind. Always ask yourself, what can I do better today than I did yesterday? Even the smallest adjustments can lead to significant progress over time. Another important aspect of improvement is embracing feedback. It's not always easy to hear criticism, but feedback is one of the most valuable tools for growth. Whether it comes from a mentor, a colleague, or a customer, listen carefully and use it to refine your approach. Remember, feedback is not a personal attack. It's an opportunity to see things from a different perspective and make better decisions. Innovation is also a key part of consistent improvement. Look for ways to challenge the status quo and think creatively about solving problems. At Alibaba, we constantly asked ourselves, how can we do this better? This mindset allowed us to create new solutions and stay ahead of the competition. Innovation doesn't always mean inventing something completely new. It can be as simple as improving an existing process or finding a more efficient way to work. Lastly, never stop learning. The world is full of knowledge, and there is always more to discover. Make it a habit to read, take courses, and seek out new experiences. Surround yourself with people who inspire and challenge you to grow. Learning keeps your mind sharp and your perspective fresh, which are essential for adapting to change. The journey of consistent improvement and adaptability is not easy, but it is deeply rewarding. It allows you to stay relevant, overcome challenges, and seize new opportunities. When you commit to growing every day, there are no limits to what you can achieve. Remember, success is not about reaching a destination. It's about continuously becoming better than you were yesterday. The rewards of persistence are extraordinary, but they often come only to those who refuse to give up, no matter the circumstances. Success is not the result of luck or talent alone. It's the outcome of consistent effort and an unyielding determination to keep going despite the challenges. While the journey of persistence is difficult, the results are always worth it, both in terms of external achievements and personal growth. Persistence teaches you the value of resilience. Life will throw obstacles your way, and there will be moments when quitting feels like the easiest option. However, those who push through adversity discover a strength they didn't know they had. Every time you overcome a setback, you grow more confident in your ability to face future challenges. This resilience becomes one of the most valuable traits you can develop, not just for achieving your goals, but for navigating life as a whole. Another reward of persistence is the opportunity to turn failure into success. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Each failure holds lessons that can guide you toward better decisions and strategies. I've experienced countless rejections in my life, from being turned down for jobs to struggling to gain investors for Alibaba. But I never let those failures define me. Instead, I learned from them and kept moving forward. Persistence allows you to see failure not as an endpoint, but as a stepping stone towards success. Persistence also builds trust in yourself and in those around you. When you consistently show up and work toward your goals, people notice. They see your dedication and commitment, and they begin to believe in your vision. Whether you're leading a team, building a business, or pursuing a personal dream, your persistence inspires others to support and join you on your journey. At the same time, it reinforces your own belief that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. The long-term rewards of persistence often far exceed your initial expectations. The small, consistent efforts you make today may not seem significant, but over time, they compound into something much greater. Whether it's mastering a skill, building a career, or growing a business, persistence creates a momentum that carries you closer to your goals. It's like planting a seed and tending to it every day. At first, you see no visible progress, but with time, the seed grows into a tree that bears fruit. Perhaps the greatest reward of persistence is the personal transformation it brings. The journey to achieving your goals shapes you in ways you cannot imagine. You become more disciplined, focused, and patient. You learn to appreciate the value of hard work and the satisfaction of earning success through your own efforts. The person you become through persistence is often the greatest accomplishment of all. In the end, success is not just about reaching a destination. It's about the journey and the growth that comes with it. Persistence allows you to turn dreams into reality, overcome the impossible, and unlock your full potential. No matter how difficult the path may seem, remember that every step you take brings you closer to the life you want. The rewards of persistence are waiting for you, and they are worth every ounce of effort you put in. As we come to the end of this journey, remember that success is not about grand gestures or fleeting bursts of effort. It's about consistency, discipline, and an unshakable belief in yourself. The road to achieving your dreams is rarely easy, but it is always worth it. Along the way, you will face obstacles, failures, and moments of doubt, but these challenges are not signs to stop. They are opportunities to grow stronger and more determined. Force yourself to stay consistent, even when motivation fades. Push past excuses and take responsibility for your actions. Embrace discipline as a tool to keep moving forward and never stop learning or improving. Remember, the process may be slow and the results may not always be visible right away, but the small steps you take each day will compound into something extraordinary. Most importantly, trust in the power of persistence. The rewards of staying the course extend far beyond material success. They include the personal growth, resilience, and fulfillment that come from knowing you gave your best effort. When you persist, you not only achieve your goals, but also inspire others to believe in the power of determination. Success is not reserved for the lucky or the gifted. It belongs to those who are willing to show up, put in the work, and refuse to quit. So as you move forward, remind yourself that every great achievement starts with a single step and the courage to keep going. Force yourself to be consistent, and you will find that the life you dream of is not only possible, it's waiting for you to claim it.